What's that? Did you just press start streaming? All right.
All right, buddy. Oh, it wasn't quite. It was close. It's close.
All right.
I was late. Your fault.
Yeah, I'm fine. Hey, did you do something to my beer?
No. Hey, cheers, man.
Cheers to you.
Offside.
Hey, and welcome to Offside with Hawes and Maguire. I'm Hawes.
I'm Maguire.
Today is May 14th. It's Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day to all you mothers and all the fathers who are who are out there. Just happy birthday to you or whatever the hell it is. Anyways, we're going to talk about hockey. Liam, Toronto Maple Leafs, fucking done.
Hey, how was your weekend, man?
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. I actually was disappointed. I wanted there to be a game tonight. I wanted a game.
But there is.
No, I know, but I wanted there to be a Toronto game tonight.
Oh.
Only because, here's the thing. It's new in the first period, Toronto wasn't going to win. And it wasn't because they had scored, that Florida had scored.
Right.
It was because they weren't on them the way they were in that Game 5. They didn't stick with them. They weren't collapsing in front of the net and blocking shots. They weren't doing the things that I believe they needed to do to win, and that made them win the previous game. They were just their old selves.
Yeah, well, as you said, going down 1-0 and then ultimately 2-0 for the miraculous comeback, and I'm calling it that for sure. The Nylander goal, I mean, that should never have gone in, but talk about drama.
Oh.
5 minutes ago, they tied up, go to OT. But, I mean, yeah, you know what? You might be right. They're playing with a little apprehension. Maybe be a good way to put it. They're on home ice. You just pushed the series to another game. Everybody is thinking, well, geez, win this one, go back, see what happens, because now you're going to put some doubt in Florida. But at the end of the day, you lose, so it's over. But, I mean, you push it to OT. But, yeah, man, I mean, look, it's a best of 7. You got to win 4. All the crying about the officiating. Holy jeez.
Well, listen, I'm not a fan of referees to start off.
No, that's true.
I had 1 or 2 issues over the past.
Krista, ref killer Hawes, Manitic Town League.
Yeah. Anyway,
no, it wasn't your fault.
I got to tell you. So
I read it on Twitter, and nobody blamed you.
No, it wasn't me. But I will tell you. So one of the refs involved in that particular incident.
Yeah.
So he's a golf pro, right?
Yes.
Okay, and he's a pro at this club, and anyways, long story short, I walk into the office, okay, and out of my mouth, fuck, right out loud. It was like, this isn't gonna go well. Basically, but I said it that way. It was like,
2-stroke penalty.
Yeah, exactly. So anyhow, I said, listen, I'm sorry for starting out like a dick there, but
Yeah.
Anyhow,
it wasn't my fault.
Yeah.
It was an earthquake, terrible flood. My tux was in the cleaners. I didn't have cap fare.
The dog ate my homework.
Yeah.
Everything. You name it. All right. So we're still talking about Toronto.
Yeah.
So listen. Okay. First of all, the game was the game. We'll talk about that fucking callback goal / no goal. It was a non-goal.
Yeah.
And it was a non-goal on the ice. The ref
Yeah.
didn't call it a goal.
Right.
And from my opinion, what I could see, and I saw later on it went over the line,
Yes,
but
it did,
there was no conclusive evidence prior to that part where the play was deemed dead, prior to that it had crossed the line, in my opinion. But
No, you're 100% right. And
so they made the right call.
They made the right call. Absolutely, it did not cross the line in the play. And when the whistle went and the final push of the puck was made, it did cross the line. And that's when you saw in the video where they quickly panned up to Kyle Dubas going nuts because he's pointing because it is across the line.
Yeah.
But when they listened to it back and did the review, they made the right call. And unfortunately for Toronto at that time, it's in the second period. So you got lots of time to go.
Yes.
So I mean, at the end of the day, they still came back and pushed it in overtime. And Matthews had a couple chances in front. I mean, the guy had 8 shots on net. He 8 or 9 shots on net. Thing is, they dominated the dots. They were over 60% of the dots. Matthew himself was 61%.
Yeah.
They outshot them. They outhit them. They blocked more shots. That's just the primary stats. I'm not getting into all the fancy stats. I don't know. Right. I want to get into expected goals or everything else. I didn't do anybody's Corsies or Fenwicks or anything else. But look, statistically, other than scoring, enough goals to win.
So
they dominated the stats, but they didn't get it done.
Right.
And you lose 4 out of 5 games.
So
shut up.
Yeah. Well,
you know?
yes.
Like,
Well,
shut up.
But you know what? I think that what they've run into is something that wins Stanley Cups, which is a goaltender. They ran into Bobrovsky, which, by the way, Bobrovsky, you know what? I'm going to make fun of his name, but I'm not really doing it because I don't want to end up like that guy in BC, okay? You know, or wherever the hell it was. It was in the States somewhere. Anyways, Bobrovsky. Doesn't it sound like the nickname you give a guy that you drink with all the time? Hey, Bobber, hey, Bobrovsky.
Yeah. I had a guy who worked at the original Six, nicknamed Bobber, Guy Smith, who's from Manotick.
Yeah?
And I called him Bobber. But a few other, sorry, I digress there, you know.
Yeah, we're
going all over the map here, but had a long weekend, by the way.
Well.
But you know what? Bobrovsky played very well, obviously, for Florida. I don't know if you were to hand out, say, a mini Conn Smythe trophy for the series. I guess he would probably be the front runner, I guess, eh? I mean, it's fair to say.
I would think.
Because Matthew Tkachuk didn't really, I mean,
he
the guys
who
dominated against Boston. Yeah, he was. No, hey, don't get me wrong. But, I mean, let's just say it right now, between you and I. Who do you think was Florida's MVP? It probably would be Bobrovsky, probably.
Oh, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. He stopped more shots and more quality shots.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't just, you know, he got in front of the puck.
Yeah.
There was some athleticism involved. Now, speaking of that, you got to give Wall or whatever his name from Toronto.
Well, he played well.
Oh,
he played well. I had a guy on, I forget it was Twitter or Facebook today. You know, I jump on and off a bunch of threads. I forget where it was, but he's telling me that there's an automatic starter for next year and definitely going to lead them to the promised land.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, you know, we laugh because it's 19 years. They finally got through a second round.
Right.
Then you get waxed. And, you know, you wanted Florida. You had your fans screaming it. You get pounded. You lose 4 out of 5 games. And, look, here's the thing. It's the core 4, F-O-R-E, 4. Like, these guys, Matthews, like, it can't happen. And here's the thing, Chris. His situation come July 1st is going to be the start of the domino. Because he's eligible for an extension. Okay. And what's he going to ask for? I had somebody last night. I'm at a party last night, okay? And
you were at a party?
I was at a party
on a Saturday night.
I rarely get a chance to go out. Once a day, maybe once a day. There was a time when it used to be 2 or 3 times, but no. Yes, I was at a high school reunion last night.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Shout out to St. Pius, the 10th class of 78. We killed it last night. Just a phenomenal evening. Bunch of Leaf fans there, having a conversation with them, talking about, and the one guy. I don't want to say his name.
Do I know him?
It's Jack Sousa.
Okay.
And he trying to tell me that Toronto was going to sign Matthews for 13 or 14 million with term. Can you do that right now? Are you kidding me? You can't do that.
I you know what? As a general manager, and I'm not, but if I were, I wouldn't do it. I would fucking take him. He would be trade bait for me right off.
Absolutely. You could get God knows how many assets for this guy. Now the problem is you got to qualify him. So you're going to qualify him. So you're going to so you got him. So you've got some time to play with. But then he's going unrestricted.
Yeah.
So then you're buying time because you're going to qualify. What are you going to qualify? A year?
Or but he's got another year left.
I know.
He's got another. So you can trade him within that year.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Yeah.
You use him, you get him, you send him somewhere where he can do something.
That's right. I mean, he's under contract.
And
under contract.
He'll go somewhere.
The window for an extension opens up. So it's not like this
it.
is pending that the July 2nd
That's
he's going to be gone. But the point is, the core 4, whatever, Nylander got, 2 goals? I mean, Matthews didn't score. Got 2 or 3 assists. Tavares. Marner. These guys were virtually.
Yeah, they were invisible.
They were. And,
they were invisible. The last game, Nylander was there.
Yeah.
There's no question.
Well, no, and he also, that night that we did the last hit, actually, when we were talking about Johnny T scored, Nylander got the first goal of that game.
Right.
I was thinking when I watched it after, I said, well, really, Chris and I should have mentioned that Nylander scored the first goal of the game. So he got one, and then he tied it up as well.
Right.
And, he's going to go overseas and play in the World Championships for Sweden, as he does every year, because he's always available this time of year. And
exactly.
He's going to run guys, he's going to hit guys, he's going to look like $1 million over there. And although he didn't look horrible here, but they didn't get it done. Boston's gone. You beat Tampa. The defending Stanley Cup champs are gone. We all know the path was paved for them to make some noise, and they didn't get it done. And now, you're running your core 4. And say all the things you want. Dubas got caught with a flat cap with COVID and everything else. So he threw $40 million at these guys, and we all know in hindsight, I'm sure you would never give Johnny T that contract now. Nobody would. No GM in history other than Mike Milbury would give him that contract right now.
Garth Snow might do it.
Yeah, maybe.
Just as a payback.
Yeah,
right?
true. But anyways, what the hell, man? They lost. They're out. And the funny thing was them winning that round just brought out all of the fans, I guess, that have been dying under a rock, right?
Wow,
For decades, 19 years. Think about it. The average Leaf fan in their early 30s was in grade 4, 5, or 6.
Well, here's the thing. How can they be Leaf fans? That's what I don't understand.
They're a cult. It's a cult.
It is.
It is.
Are they Scientologists?
Yeah, they're kind of the Scientologists of hockey. Sorry, Jack.
Yeah, and if Tom Cruise is watching this, we fucking love you.
Yeah, boy, he's one of my favorite.
You don't want
actors.
to piss him off.
No, absolutely.
He jumps out of fucking planes himself.
That guy's crazy, man. I just, boy, I wish he wasn't taking those chances. But I'm a big fan.
You know what?
I'm a big fan.
I heard the story.
He lived here in Ottawa at some point, apparently. I don't know.
That's
Is it true?
That's they say. That's what they say. I don't know if he did.
But
you know what? I heard this story. I thought it was a great one. And I forget who was explaining one of his stunts, right? He was going to do.
Yeah.
And the stunt coordinator says, "You can't do that. It's not possible." And then he says, "Well, so I get a new stunt coordinator."
Great line.
I loved it. Love that. I just, you know what? He wants it done. He does it himself. He does, you know what I mean? And you got to admire. Now, okay, we're going to get off the Leafs because now we're on, we're talking about winners here.
Yes.
We're talking about Tom Cruise. Okay,
Yes.
now we're going to talk about the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah.
Can they turn this Game 6 into a Game 7?
Absolutely, they can. I think they missed Nurse way more than Vegas missed Pietrangelo. And let's.
By the way, what did you think about that
let's talk
bullshit?
about it.
Because that's, honest to God,
yeah,
that pisses me off.
that he didn't get more, right? Pietrangelo for the slash?
Oh, well, for the slash.
Yeah.
But I don't think, and I know the fucking rules with the instigator. You know what? That's bullshit. He went in, he did his job protecting his fucking team.
Yeah.
And had a fight. Granted, it was the last 5 minutes of the game, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And you know what? Throwing a guy out in the playoffs for that, it brings us back to this. Oh, fighting is a terrible thing.
No, but no real hockey fan says that. It's just a bunch of new fans that have come onto the game that representing basically just a new fan base that have an issue with any type of physicality. It is amazing to go on Twitter after a big hit in a game and see the reaction from people like the Trouba hit.
Right.
Probably,
that was beauty.
Yeah, the absolutely 1,000% clean hit on Meyer, and man, the people crying the next day. Any other level of hockey, any other pro hockey league would have been a penalty. But the NHL is run by the league, NHL, and the NHLPA. It's a big business. It's big boy sports. They're governed by a collective bargaining agreement. They have a person that runs for the league named Gary Bettman. He's the commissioner, and they have a person that runs the NHLPA. And collectively, they sign this agreement. They sign it on behalf of the players. They sign it on behalf of the board of governors, and they deem that hit to be legal.
Right.
That's a clean hit under NHL rules because he did nothing wrong. His shoulder was down. He didn't leave his feet, his skates. Yeah. He didn't cheap shot him. He didn't charge him. He just stepped into a guy who crossed the blue line with his head down. Yeah. From the earliest time you played hockey, Chris. My very first game ever that I played in Kentville, I got smoked and came back to the bench. And I played nothing, nowhere. And the coach said, Liam, you got to keep your head up.
Yeah.
Got to keep your head up. And Chris, you played a higher level than I did. And you would have been told that too because everybody is told that.
Listen, there's a reason I have head damage, right? It's because I got a bad eye too. Right. And so I get nailed all the, honest to God, I took more hits that I shouldn't have taken.
Yeah.
But you know what? The one thing I do have is my head up. But it's the problem is that I'm shit with my head up or down. So
as it turns out, so was I.
So listen.
I think Edmonton. I'm praying they win tonight. I'm pulling for them to win tonight. First of all, I want to see more hockey. Yeah. I want to see a Game 7, and I think they deserve to go to Game 7. Yeah. I think when Nurse back, home ice, let's get it done, boys. And let's see what happens here. But, McDavid was outstanding last game. That second goal was just incredible. Eichel's playing lights out. Vegas has got a lot of guys. Stone. I mean, they got a lot of guys playing.
They've got talent. There's no question.
They got tons of talent, and they're looking more like the Vegas team from that first year that went to the finals. Surprisingly shocked us all. Mind you, we're getting almost a duplicate of that with Seattle right now, and what they're doing with Dallas. Holy Jesus.
But you know what? Here's the thing about that.
They are so structurally sound.
Well, yeah, but you know what?
Incredible.
If you're building a team, you're a GM and you got a clean slate. You're building a team.
Yeah.
And you go, okay, well, what do I want? And you look at all your pieces, and then the NHL gives you that ability with that expansion draft, the way they've done it now, to pick those pieces.
Yeah.
Really, it's a recipe for success.
Well, with they're coming in as the 32nd team. You're picking from 31 teams. I think there was one exemption there, and you're picking still from a but you're getting you got it. Yeah, if you do your homework.
It's not like when Ottawa and Tampa came in, you know what I mean. And you got when our top defenseman was Marshy.
Well, Norm Maguire.
Oh, Maguire, that's right.
Norm Maguire had a hell of a
Thunder
first
Bay
year.
boy.
Yes, and led the team in scoring that first year in 92, 93. But, even the next year with Florida and Anaheim, they had infinitely better choices. So that it changed, the landscape had changed that much, let alone when you got to the Minnesotas and the Columbuses and the teams that came in Atlanta and the teams that came in the late 90s and 2000s. So, and now there's so many teams, and again the landscape has changed. With Vegas, of course, all the other GMs prostituted themselves, tried to protect guys, fired bodies over, and George McPhee sat back and said, "Thank you," just took them all in. But Seattle had, they didn't have that. Ronnie Francis didn't quite have that same landscape, but he was able to obviously. Look, at the end of the day, let's look at it this way, Chris. I know we got to wrap up, but let's look at it this way. Look at Seattle. I know we're digressing from Edmonton here, but look at Seattle and what they're doing. They're up 3-2 on Dallas, man.
I know.
And look at Toronto. All the hype, the big hype machine. We want Florida. We're going all the way. We won a series. I was in grade 5 last time they won. Their fans are in their 30s. And look at the difference in the structure on the team and the scoring. When your top guys aren't scoring. And the thing about Seattle, they're doing it by committee.
Yeah,
they're doing it by committee. They're spreading it across. You look at the scoring; it's very spread. Edmonton has got depth scoring as well going. Yeah, and Nugent Hopkins finally scored, and Koskinen, when he's been in the lineup, he's been outstanding, I think. But look, they're up against it tonight. It's do or die. You got to win. I really do. I think they're going to get the W tonight. I really do. I think they will. I hope they will.
And my prediction. There's going to be a highlight reel of Connor McDavid in this game. I can see him being pumped. This is where he's going to show why he's the greatest hockey player playing now. Look at that second goal. Yeah, you know what? And that's something we'll discuss at another time, because I get asked all the time how much is he how much is he coming up the ranks, because what he does with the puck, with speed. At speed. At speed. Yeah. At fucking remarkable speed.
Remarkable speed. I've never seen anybody skate like him. Look, he won the fastest skater there a bunch of years, and he lost. Then he didn't go in it this year. And no one skates like him with the puck. Nobody. Absolutely nobody in the NHL. Maybe ever. In fact, I will say ever. Never seen anybody like it. Never seen anybody like it. And I've got active memory going back to the 60s. I've never seen anybody like him. He's in the discussion already as one of the greatest of all time. You got to win. You got to do some things. But, he's going to add another Hart Trophy. He won the Rocket Richard, Art Ross, and we'll see what happens here in the playoffs. But that second goal he scored last game, you think about it, as a D-man, you can't stop him.
No, there's no...
It's indefensible.
Yeah.
When he burns to the outside and powers down, unless
you're taking a penalty.
Yeah.
And that's what you got to do, though.
Pretty much.
And that's hard to do, especially in a playoff
game.
And
the thing is, the save was made, right? The save was made, and he got the rebound. And, when it first went in, it went, God, it must have gone off his skate or his shin pad or something. Yeah, it wasn't until they had the reverse angle that you saw that actually came back and he fired it in so quickly.
Because he's so dialed in, though.
He's
hyper focused.
And it sucks we haven't had him and Crosby in a best on best. It's criminal that doesn't. Even baseball, which so many of the purists don't even care.
23 on the Sega or whatever. It's not Sega. What's the new one?
I don't know. I don't watch any. I don't.
No, you know what? It's not Sega.
I played the pinball game at the Manitic Tea Room. That's it. That's no longer there.
So well, listen, we're gonna
Which
wrap
also sucks.
before we wrap it up, because we actually have to wait. We got a while, but we're gonna talk about your favorite playoff memories.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Well, let's talk about. So I mean, I have a couple of memories.
Give me one.
Okay. So sadly, they actually involved the Montreal Canadiens.
Oh, wow.
They're not good memories.
I heard of them.
So
yeah, because you're an old-time Bruin fan, right?
So it's 1976.
Oh, boy. Okay.
And it's a Game 7. Okay.
Now,
It's
Montreal
Game
Boston
6.
didn't
No, sorry,
play
Game 6, right?
in the playoffs
Game
in
6.
76.
76?
77, Montreal beat Boston
Okay.
4 straight.
That's right. Okay.
78, they beat Boston in 6 games. And in 79, they beat Boston in 7 games.
Okay, what even 79 then?
Was that 79?
Okay, 79. So
your memory is the same as mine.
it's fucking horrible.
Oh
It was a
my
Game
God.
7. So here's the thing. My cousin from Ottawa was up in Sudbury visiting us, and he was a Habs fan.
Okay.
And we bet $10, and fucking $10 was a lot of money back
A
then.
lot of money in
like,
79.
You know what I mean?
Well, that'd buy you 24 beer.
Well, I wasn't drinking then, but
I was, and I can tell you, you could get a 24 a Molson X at Brewers Retail in Manotick in 1979 for about $9.
There you go. So it was a case of beer. That's what it was, and so we had the bet, and of course, it didn't end the way I wanted to end.
No.
Right? And I believe I cried, not only over the money, but also. So I've never bet on sports since. And I know everything. Fuck it, everything is betting. Like it's all you can't turn on Hockey Night in Canada. It's actually hockey betting night in Canada.
I know. Did you see PK Subban's dad?
Love it.
Yeah, me too.
Sudbury guy, by the way.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. St. Charles College.
St. Charles College. I did not know that.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's my alma mater.
So your memory
Yeah.
is actually mine as well.
It's your my what?
Your-
You have that used the same memory.
Well, yeah. First of all, I was at that game.
Okay. Well,
So
then
that was Thursday night, May 10th, 1979. The irony there, of course, is 9 years to the day after Bob Orr went flying through the air. 9 years to the day.
Really.
Which was Mother's Day, and today
Okay.
is Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there.
And the fathers.
And the
Who
fathers.
happen to be
Yeah,
mother.
you said that earlier, actually. Yeah, that's right.
I like to use that. Sorry.
That's a great line.
Yeah.
Bobby Orr flies through the air May 10, 1970. May 10, 79, one of the worst moments in Bruins history. Too many men on the ice. I was at the game. There were 7 Bruins on the ice. Stan Jonathan went into the play, checked Mark Napier. John D'Amico, as a linesman, made the call, which linesman can do for too many men on the ice. The 7th guy was Jean Rattel. He saw all the bodies. He turned around. He dove back over the bench. Too late because Jonathan had already gone in. There was absolutely nothing they could do. The building was going nuts. If Myers doesn't make that call, D'Amico, if they don't make that call, they don't escape the building alive. And then the Habs, and then Danny Gallivan with the famous line, which I didn't see for years, right? Because I was at the game.
Right.
There was no VHSs, no phones,
Yeah.
no way to. It was for years until I saw a replay of the game when TSN and Sportsnet started in the late 80s, and they played a classic game. They said, oh, there's the game. I was at that game. First time I heard Danny Gallivan, Lafleur, coming out rather gingerly, right? On the right side. And, up to Lemaire, back to Lafleur, and he shot, and he scored.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, Chris, I was there at my late father. We had standing room. I'm so glad he went. I was in a drinking contest the night before, actually, and with a guy you know. I won't say his name, but it's Joe Princiota. and we were drilling 100 back, and he was so hungover he couldn't even make the trip. This was for Game 7, Montreal-Boston. I was hungover like a tank as well. But I said to my dad, I got an extra ticket, and he said, okay, I'll go. And he drove, thank God. But I don't think I could have drove anyway. And he drove. We went down. I said, Dad, because these are standing room tickets, you're going to have to run. We got to go up the steps. You're going to have to run. I'll run ahead of you and save us a spot. The door opened because he went around the back on Maisonneuve. Once you went to the forum enough, the old fella at the back would open the door 30 seconds earlier. So once you knew that.
Inside information.
Inside information. It took me about 30 visits before I found this out.
Okay.
I went around the back with Dad. We were about 8th in line. Doors open. It's just a rush, right? My dad goes up the steps like a gazelle. Fucking God, man. Like, boom. He's like Ben Johnson on roids. Like, boom. Just gone. And the
Black and Tans are
what
after
the
him.
hell? Yeah, exactly. Right? He's back in Ireland. And he goes up and he says, I go, holy shit. Like, I've been blowing up behind him. We get in there. We get our seats. I mean, the Habs are losing, 3-1 going in the third period. Lafleur sets up, Napier sets up, I think it was Guy Lapointe. They tie the game. Cashman stuffs one. Was it Cashman or Middleton? It was Middleton, I think. That's a brutal goal on Dryden. Absolutely brutal. Like, they won that series despite Ken Dryden. That's another story. And then the too many men on the ice. Yeah, and I know what you're saying for the wrong reasons for you. You were crushed. You lost $10. And well, listen, man.
But it was a good lesson. Like I said, I never bet on sports again.
Well, that is good then.
Yeah, because
you know what I did one time.
What?
So I got a bookie, and this is about probably 15 years ago or so. And I said I got it all figured out. I'm going to bet against the Habs because if they win, I'm happy. And if they lose, I'm going to make money. So I thought, because I'm such a massive Habs fan, right?
Okay.
So I figured, I'm just going to throw, I just throw some money at the bookie here, and I got it all figured out. How'd that
work out?
Not good.
No,
not good. Because the Habs went on like a 5-game winning streak or something. All of a sudden, I'm out like several $100s, and I'm going, you know what? Gambling's not really for me.
Yeah. No, that's, you know what?
I haven't done it since.
You always find out the hard way, right?
Yeah.
Like especially with that whole gambling thing. I used to go to the casino a lot. I go to Vegas, right, and stuff.
Yeah.
So we're at when the casino.
Do you stick at 17?
Hey. You know what? I'm gonna tell.
Insert any line you want, by the way.
Exactly. As long as she says she's 18, is what I was going to say. But
I know. As soon as I said that, you were going to go there. Oh man.
So we go. I get my paycheck. Okay. I've been working the week, and we got it was a good paycheck. Okay, from Yuck Yucks at the time. Okay, and the casino in Lac Leamy had just opened.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so they're heading out with a comic who was in town. David Merry, okay, who was a magician and a comic, and he was actually a Ronald McDonald at one time. I think he got kicked out of that for something. But he was also a professional gambler. Fucking brilliant with cards, okay? So I go there, and what that check was, it was our refrigerator money. We had bought a refrigerator on the I Don't Have a Cent event from Leon's. Right?
Oh, yeah,
okay?
yeah.
And it was coming due. Right, but I knew I had this. It was a great week's work, and this was going to pay for the thing. So we go to the casino, and next thing I know, I've got $50 left out of thousands, right? And it's like, oh my God, I am dead. And he comes over, he goes, what's going on? And I'm like, I'm distraught. And he goes, just do what I say. And he wins me my money back.
No way.
Yeah, like that. Wins my money back. And without anything...
Swear to God.
Yeah, swear to God. I came home, she was none the wiser until I tell the story later. It's easy to say when you've actually got the fridge.
You got it.
Once you have the fridge, you're all right? But if I had it, I would have got an iron in the head if I hadn't have got the fridge. But yeah, so I've told him this over the years, like how I've never forgotten that, how he saved my marriage, right? And I'll never forgive him. So, okay.
That's good.
So, we have anything else to talk about? I think we should just wrap it up.
Yeah,
unless you want to say something.
No, I think, is there anything else? Well, the World Championships are on. Canada's winning. That's good. Good start. We'll see how that goes. That's a tournament lasts like 6 weeks. But, yeah, not much else, man. Just go Oilers.
Yeah, that roster changes, though.
Well,
that's the problem.
You can add guys, but Canada stopped doing that.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. Lanny McDonald actually was in charge a bunch of years ago. And was very, very upset because he asked a bunch of guys, because typically you have to ask like 40 to get 20.
Right.
Most guys say no. Like Connor Bedard, he could have gone. Yeah. Fantilli's there, and he looked great. I didn't see any highlights other than the first game. But normally we struggle against Latvia. It's just the way it goes, right? And we pumped them, right, 6-0. And Fantilli looked fantastic. Anyways, a bunch of other guys did too. But anyways, digressing. The world's throwing an eyeball on that to get a chance.
But I know. So I know a guy who was on the world team, and then was not, because he was playing.
Oh, yeah.
He was playing over in Europe at one point.
Yeah.
He was playing in Europe. He was a top guy in the European League. Okay.
Okay. Are you talking for Canada or another team?
For Canada.
Okay.
So playing for Canada.
But this has to be 10 years ago or more.
Oh yeah, it was probably 15.
Okay.
Easily.
Because they don't do that anymore.
But so his spot gets taken. And so, meanwhile, he's played one game, but he's gone for the rest. and he was so proud to play for his country.
Yeah.
And now he came back. I think he's an American citizen now because he got so pissed off about it. To be honest
That
with
sounds
you.
like Brett Hull.
No, it's not Brett, but
No.
it was somebody else.
Yeah.
But he did play in the show a little bit in the U.S. I won't say his name because that would. I'm not like you. It's not like mentioning it, and I'm not going to mention his name. But Joe Prince, you know.
I hope Joe sees this.
I hope so too. You know what?
I saw his son the other day at the bank. Joe's a dear friend. I met him in 1970 at St. Leonard's, and he just,
really? Does he go back to there?
Yeah.
Really?
They came into the area, and he came in grade. I believe he was in grade 4. And he's in my brother's grade, and he invited my brother to his birthday party. Actually, it's Joe Princiota's birthday today. I'm not
Is it
kidding.
really?
I swear to God.
Oh, happy birthday, Joe!
It's either today or yesterday. It's his birthday right now, like right this time of May. It's his birthday. So, yeah, he's a beauty. And we're very, very good friends. I loved his parents. His mom's still alive, but health is declining. But his dad passed away a few years ago, and he's an only child. And yeah, we were at Men's League at Rideauview. He was a junior member. I was an employee there, and we got into the pints and went at it kind of head-to-head there on that Wednesday night, May 9th, 1979. He was too hungover to go, and my dad ended up coming, and I'm so thankful because my dad's been passed away a long time, and I think back of that night, and it's just such a great memory.
So what you're saying is because Joe was such a weak-ass drinker,
well, he went pretty
your
good.
dad got to go. Joe and I drank in Florida. We down and played with Kevin Jardine and those guys. We played in a tournament down there.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, there was no shortage of hangover in that. Listen, we got there the first game.
You got Rocket and Jimmy Cooper.
Exactly.
And,
so we go there. I swear to God, the next game, the first game the next morning, nobody could move.
No.
Nobody could. It was literally everything sounded like 1,000 decibels.
Yeah. I mean, you're paralyzed.
And we, you know what? But yeah, that was.
And then you hit the ice.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man.
Remember that TV commercial? It came out on one of the American TV commercial came out about 15 years ago, where all these the guys are in the room, they're half dressed, they're drinking pints. It was a beer commercial, and they're throwing tape across and everything, got hats on backwards and stuff. They're shooting the breeze and everything else. Doors open, guy comes in. Okay, guys, the ice is ready. It looked like it was not on the ice yet. Hitting the pints, which we never did. We always drank after.
Yeah, no, you know what? It's the best beer of the week after.
There is no better time ever to have a pint than when you get off the ice.
Absolutely.
When you get off the ice, that first pint is the greatest, best tasting liquid on the planet Earth.
And you know what? If you can make that liquid our sponsor, then
we want you. We'll drink your beer.
Absolutely.
And lots of it.
All right, listen, we're going to end this. This has been Offside with Hawes and Maguire. I'm Hawes.
Maguire.
Thanks for watching.
G'day.
You're all good? Now, for some reason, I'm getting the sad thought that maybe you didn't do this.
No, I totally did.
Okay.
Please don't tell me I did. But there's no reason why
What does
it
this
should
say?
have. That's just because I pressed stop recording.
You were on recording? Not streaming?
Uh-oh.
You press recording, not streaming? Okay, hold on.
Are you sure?
Well, honey, if you press, it looks like that's unbelievable. Okay.
Oh, no, it was viewed. People just text me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.